Hello Snugglebugs, welcome to today's Hearthstone video. We're coming at you here with a little interesting, I'm going to move that around a little, interesting take on the Earthen Paladin. Now, I am going to say this is going to look a little different, as any of you who might have seen my community post the other day would know, when I had recorded these last few games, microphone wasn't being picked up. So what I decided to try to do is go over to explain my thought process here while the gameplay more or less plays in the background. So the deck that we have here with the Earthen Paladin is one of my favorite archetypes. I'm just going to do a quick peek to make sure my microphone is working, and it is. But it's one of my favorite archetypes in the game. It allows you to get big minions, get them out really quickly, usually. At least I think quickly anyway. And they ramp up similar to the old Jade Golem. So here we're talking about how, oops, I'm going to move my mouse off of there. How we are going to really want to play the Stoneheart King next turn. I thought about coining it out, but of course the Disciple of Amatoss is on 5, so we kind of would have been stuck coining that out just to get it out there, I guess. The eggs are in here for the Boogie Downs specifically, and to, if your opponent plays board removal, it kind of allows you to get a 3/3 that's left over. And here we will play the Stoneheart King and make these trades and end our turn. Little Astalor. I was going to say Bloodsworn Mercenary for some reason. That's where my brain was at. But there we can see that we get ourselves a little 2/2. And our opponent plays, oddly, a Photographer Fizzle, which I do not see that often in Warrior decks. So that's kind of interesting. But we still have our Disciple of Amatoss hidden behind a 1/1 taunt. So there is that. And we have Tears in our hand, which at this point in the game, I think we've only lost a couple of minions, so that would be good. Oh, a little brawl. See, now this is going to be the example where I think we get really lucky here. Because what we get is our egg dies, and our Disciple of Amatoss lives, which of course is the perfect result, because that keeps us having our 3/3 from the death of the egg, and of course the Disciple to now give us a 6/6 Earthen spawn. And we got to forge our Tears, so we'll be able to bring back 4 minions next turn as well. So far, everything's looking pretty good for us, and we can't complain with the lucky brawl. You know, we got to get that brawl. Now they have an 8/8 coming, and they're going to do a little board clear, but our 8/2 survives, so good for us. And then we're going to Tears, I believe, here in order to resurrect. This is where I do realize that, unfortunately, the dude that we summoned actually hindered us. I should have known that. Kind of forgot when I summoned the dude, so from there on out, when playing this deck, I've tried my best to not summon the Silverhand recruits unless you have nothing, unless you really need the extra 1/1. But in this case, it was not worth it. Little armor up, not a big deal. Little bash, not really big deal. Still, just look at how much we still have on the board. We have, and I think what we're going to do is play the Amatoss, the Peacekeeper. Did a little bit of math there. Went 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, plus 10. Because we have a bunch, it's 27. Should be perfect lethal, if I remembered that correctly. And with that, we're just going to say, you know what? Yes, the brawl was extremely lucky. Can't really deny that fact. And we're going to just go hop into another game. Alright, looks like the game number 2 that we were playing with this deck is against the Shimmy Shaman with the Shaman Shake. And yeah, I don't know what kind of Shaman deck they're playing. I admit, where I did record these a few days ago, I kind of forget. But we did draw the new Order in the Court that recently has been changed. I'll say nerfed. It now makes it so you do not draw a card. It just reshuffles your deck. We did draw the Righteous Protector, which is good. We have Boogie Down, which on turn 3 is always fantastic. That's definitely what you want to see. Try to take a little drink of water, but I'm almost out. So there is that. Greedy Partner. It's definitely one of my favorite cards, honestly, in the set. Order in the Court, again. Definitely not a good draw. We did get both of our eggs with Taunt, so that kind of puts our opponent in a bit of a pickle, which is good for us, of course. For them to have to deal with the taunts, the little taunty taunts. Look at that. We're going to give egg the buff. I think we're going to trade we should probably trade the Lay Down the Law first. No need to use that right away. Oh, we're going to actually order in the court. See, like I said, I forget. So, yes, this will give us a few turns of Guardian's Grace and Prismatic Beams. However, because we have the Disciple of Amatas, the reason we, I guess, would have thought to do that is it's going to start summoning us our Earthens, hopefully protected by this Wall of Taunts. And, of course, with Tear in our hand, we'll have a way to bring it back if and when it dies. And I just hovered over the screen again. So apologies about that. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below about this. I much prefer live gameplay, obviously. However, this does open up the opportunity that if people would be at all interested, I do get to Legend almost every season playing the game. Maybe there's an opportunity here for people to send in some gameplay and perhaps just get my thoughts and make a video on that. I have seen other people do that. Not necessarily, I wouldn't call it coaching, because again, I'm not competitive by any means. I think that I definitely can throw in some good tips and tricks that maybe will help people out, but I do see there might be some value, or people want their gameplay showcase. So again, just kind of throw it out there. Our opponent played the Doc Holiday, which means they have the big old staff of frogs, so they're going to be able to start cleaning up our board, including taking out our Disciple, because they played Zap naturally, which admittedly kind of shocked me. Yeah, I said that on purpose. Married ladies, sorry, don't mean to burst your bubble. But yeah, this allows us to now play another Boogie Down. Gets us out a few more things with Taunt to help protect us out. We take a few value trades. At this point, I started making the decision of potentially trying to go face a bit, just because they're going to have obviously way too much value with their frogs, and we had a wide board, so I didn't want to trade in two of our minions, or one of our minions to take out this jam sesh. Of course, or take out their Dr. Holiday. Of course, with that jam session, it kind of puts them in a good spot here to take out a lot of our stuff and get a frog, which does hurt a little bit, but that's okay. We now have the ability to Tears. Forging it first, yep. Then we're going to play Tears, get ourselves a big old board back. Didn't even need to forge it, but that's okay. We didn't really have that much. We could have summoned a dude, but as we learned in the last game, probably not something we wanted to do anyway. So, aside from missing the trade of that snake oil, didn't really lose out on anything there. Little coin Reno, let's go. We definitely do not want to play the Tear into this board because we won't have the room, because the Reno puts us down into one place. I guess we'll draw the Amatos, which works out pretty good here, and we'll just play that down. I don't really want to make their minions 2/2s because, of course, we're really just buffing the totem at that point, and doesn't really help my Amatos stay alive anyway, so we'll just draw the two minions. We'll buff the Amatos. Perfect buff target, in my opinion. Probably should have traded the snake oil first. That's always I wouldn't say always a misplay that I have, but something that I still need to get better at doing. And I believe they go face here. No, they don't. They did attack my Amatos. I was going to say. Something I thought they went. And see, this is something I'll point out, because obviously I'm watching this later, but I was so sure when I was recording this video that the oh, that was good. That was a good board clear. Helped me out a lot. That the Tears brought back Paladin minions, because, you know, that's what we always use it for in our deck. However, I did not realize until I went back and reread it that it actually just brings back minions of your own class. So when they stole it or used it with the Yogg-Saron's prison, it actually did give them stuff back, which was kind of a surprise for me, for this guy. Gonna try to use this to, yep, I believe we set them to 2. We might not bother. Yeah, we do. That way our Prismatic Beam, which is one of the best cards for Paladin, admittedly, lately, to get that out there. And now we have a way to buff our board. We already have an 8/8. We have a Stoneheart King, except Yogg. Good old Yogg. At least they can't play it for 0 mana anymore that early, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's more than okay. Wacha, they attack. They get out their new frog, the 5/5 frog, and then they're going to buff their board. Unfortunately, because of the Amatos, we cannot hit that for 8 because everything that hits it does 2 damage. Boom. Yep. Boom. Pretty sure I do Prismatic Beam here. Oh, do I not, perhaps? I do not, perhaps. Interesting. That's okay. This gives us even more minions. I think, if I recall, and again, sorry, I don't mean to spoil ourselves here, but I'm pretty sure our opponent could board wipe us. And they end up not doing that. I think they misplay heavily here. Yeah, very confused at the play. They could, oops, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of, they're going face. I don't know if they thought they had lethal here because of the emotes. Yeah, and they did the math incorrectly. But they use Showdown. They attempt to, yep, just gonna let them go through. But even at the end, they could have potentially done some Yogg shenanigans, and they don't. They kind of just leave it up for some reason. And it allows me to make the trades, use the Prismatic Beam, and then go face for my last 2 minions. It's like, again, not trying to spoil anything for everybody, but I'm very confused here. Prismatic Beam, sure. Make the trade into that one. One trade into their minion that comes out, and then smack them in the face. Yeah, it was very confusing. But at the same time, I did want to showcase the game because we got some massive Earthens out. And to be perfectly honest, everyone counts when you're on the way to Legend. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Like, comment, and subscribe. Again, apologies for sort of the weird way we're doing it for this next video or two, but I appreciate it very much.